The free city of Norvos sits among the hills upon the eastern banks of the river Noin, a tributary of the great river Rhoin, and is surrounded by limestone hills and dark forests of oak and pine that are full of game of all sorts. Norvos is made up out of two parts, joined only by a massive stone stair, known as the Sinner's Steps, where during annual festivities birds are being brought to dance. The high city, where the ancient nobility of Norvos lives, is ringed about by mighty stone walls, and located on the tallest hill in the region. Fortress Temple of the Bearded Priests, religious leaders of the theocratic city, dominates the hill. The lower city is located 300 feet below, at the base of the hill, by the river, spread out along the muddy shores. It is defended by moats, ditches, and a timber palisade overgrown with moss. The riverfront is lined with wharfs, brothels, and beer halls. The Norvosi work the land on the terraced farms close by the city walls, and farther out people live in walled villages and holdfasts surrounded by timber palisades. The domains of Norvos stretch as far as the western bank of the Darkwash to the east and the upper Rhoin to the west. The Noin is ruled by Norvosi river galleys as far south as the ruins of Nisar, where she joins the Rhoin. The city also claims dominion over the Axe upon the Shivering Sea, though the Ibanese are known to dispute this claim. Norvos experiences great extremes of continental climate, freezing winters and very hot summers. City is on the route leading from the Narrow Sea to the Dothraki Sea, and as such pays tribute to passing Dothraki Khalasars. Though its wealth is based mainly upon its strategic position on the trade route from Pentos to Kohor, city is also famous for its axes, made from minerals mined from the hills of Norvos, as well as for high-quality textiles, tapestries mostly. Just like other free cities, modern Norvos is a daughter of Valyria, and even though it dominates the headwaters of the Rhoin, Norvosi are not related to Rhoynar by any kind. Modern Norvosi came from Valyrian freehold, but they were not the founders of the city, rather finders. Ancient Norvos was founded and abandoned by another, unknown group of people. Some theorize those lost people were kin of the Lorati maze-makers, but since no mazes were left, that is unlikely. Some believe they were related to Ibanese, but for the most part it is agreed upon the theory of their Andal descent. Since modern Norvosi view axe as a symbol of power, and double-bladed axe symbol was at some point as favored by the Andals as a symbol of seven-pointed star, it is thus considered that Valyrian bearded priests took the emblem from ruins they found in Norvos and adapted it to their faith. Some claim that those Andal symbols are in fact hammers, sign of the smith, and depictions are uneven because Andals were not artisans at all, but rather warriors. Then again, question arises, if Andals were warriors, why would they depict symbols of Smith's hammer instead of warrior's sword? Whoever founders of Norvos may have been, they were driven out by the hairy man out of the east, surely a kin of the Ibanese, and these hairy men in turn were eventually expelled by the Rhoynar, led by Prince Garys the Grey of Nisar, but the Rhoynar did not stay in Norvos for long, finding the dark skies and cold winds of the hills uncomfortable. At some point, bearded priests, followers of Sect that originated in Valyrian freehold, decided to abandon the freehold, finding their religious tolerance, regarded there as a hallmark of a truly advanced civilization, intolerable. So did the settlers of Lorath, followers of the blind god Boash, and worshippers of the black goat who settled at Kohor. All of them left the freehold in search of places where only their own, true deity would be worshipped, and all other deities would be regarded as false idols, apparently. The bearded priests promote strict and conservative religion. While the exact nature of the faith is unknown to anyone except for initiates, the priests are known to instruct the citizens that sex should be engaged in only rarely, for the purpose of bearing children, and not for pleasure. Thus, to this day, Norvos is a truly theocratic city, at least the upper part of it, since the lower, poor part is out of the sight of priests and nobles, so low-born Norvosi can eat red meat, drink beer and nasha, fermented goat's milk laced with honey, and watch birds dancing and slave women mating with wolves. However, upper part of the city is whole different, a grim grey place of an unending prayer, and even though Norvos has a council of magisters, Its members are selected by the bearded priests to whom their god speaks his commands from the depths of their fortress temple, which only true believers may enter and live. The very name of their god is revealed only to initiates of the faith, as this faith is highly secretive. All that is known of their beliefs and rituals is that bearded priests wear hair shirts and untanned hides and practice ritual self-beating as part of their worship to this stern god, and that they are the only Norvosi permitted to grow beards, though they are also strictly forbidden to shave or cut their hair. It is known that Norvosi men compensate their lack of beards by favoring long mustachios, whilst women and slaves are obliged to shave all their body hair. However, in company of men from other lands, noble ladies usually don wigs. Holy guard of slave soldiers serving bearded priests bear double-bladed axe tattoos upon their breasts and ritually marry the long axes they fight with. City's routine is dictated by the bearded priests through ringing of the three bells, telling the Norvosi when it is time to sleep, rise, work, rest, pray, and even when to engage into sexual relations. The bells bear the names Nom, Nara, and Yil and were listed by famous traveler Lamas Longstrider as one of 9 wonders made by man. Longstrider has also inspected cavern system northwest of Norvos, known to be so vast and deep that legend claims it is the entrance to the underworld. He then counted it as one of the world's 7 natural wonders. Hills of Norvos are full of caverns, in fact, where bones of giants and painted walls suggest that giants and some other unknown man populated hills of Norvos at some point. During the Century of Blood after the doom of Valyria, Norvos and Kohor allied together against Volantis. They destroyed much of the Volantine fleet, which had control of the Rhoyne in a battle involving fire galleys on Dagger Lake. Since then, though the bearded priests are known to regard the Black Goat of Kohor as a demon, Norvos and Kohor have been allies more often than they have been enemies. The man who honors all the gods honors none at all. A prophet of the Lord of Light, her Lord the Red, once famously declared. Norvosi would agree with him on that. Both religions, though different in many aspects, are similar in many more, and though there are no followers of lore in Norvos, and each of the 3 cities has its own customs, histories, and gods, the Red Priesthood of lore holds sway in almost all of them, and often wields considerable power, especially in Volantis. But that is a story for another day.